Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk a little bit more about what's going on in the Red Sea. If you have been posting on social media about this topic, please watch this video to the end because you might get exactly what you're asking for, which is not what you actually want. Okay, so a quick recap for those who aren't real clear on what's been going on over there. Inside of Yemen, there is a faction called the Houthis. The Houthis have been hitting shipping in the Red Sea in an attempt to put pressure on Israel. Initially, the West was relatively chill about the whole thing, but as it went on, eventually the West was like, okay, you need to stop or else. The or else was airstrikes. When those airstrikes occurred, I was like, that's not actually going to deter them. The Houthis are an incredibly resilient organization. They're very decentralized. This isn't going to have the impact that people might think, and it's going to turn into a back and forth. The Houthis have now hit a ship that is flagged out of the Marshall Islands, but is U.S. owned. The back and forth has started. This is where your social media posts come in. The Houthis are fighting the government of Yemen. Okay. There are a lot of people who are posting on social media saying, I support Yemen or I stand with Yemen because they are sympathetic to the reasons the Houthis were doing this. Yemen, the government, the actual government of Yemen, which is not the Houthis, they have seized upon the situation. They are asking the West for arms, intelligence, and training. Those three things in combination pretty much always lead to advisors, wink, wink, being on the ground. If Western politicians were trying to determine whether or not there was popular support for such an action, where might they look? Social media. And they're going to see a whole bunch of posts that say, I support Yemen. I stand with Yemen. Normally, this kind of misunderstanding when it comes to internal foreign policy dynamics and stuff like that doesn't really matter. In this case, those people who are supportive or sympathetic to the Houthis may actually create a situation where the West supports the government that is fighting them because of how the posts are going out. Please keep in mind the West getting involved on the ground in Yemen. That's a bad idea for like 1,000 reasons, not the least of which being if they get involved on the ground, it's going to be a decade. Easy. The other reason is that it is not likely to go the way the West would want it to, which would lead to more Masters of the Universe carving up the world stuff. Be more specific with your social media posts because you might create the impression of popular support for getting Western boots on the ground in Yemen. Again, under normal circumstances, this wouldn't matter. But because the actual government of Yemen is now asking for this, it's created a dynamic where a statement that is generally correct because the Houthis have de facto control over a whole lot of Yemen. Is technically wrong and might lead to a very different outcome from what the people posting this actually mean. So just bear that in mind. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.